Sitting down to film my Those Eyeshadows update today, a part of me feels a little bit disappointed with myself. However, I do have one pan, so I'm just going to say that straight away. A part of me feels a bit disappointed because I've not really used some of these shades much at all, but then another part of me is saying, you know what, Caitlin, that's absolutely fine, because if you were here for last year, I bullied myself so much to hit pan on things, to finish things, and because my usage is a lot less this year, I am feeling that guilt a little bit. So I'm having to really consciously pull myself out of that and remind myself that, you know what, it's okay. I still have a pan, which is amazing, but it's okay not to force myself to use products. So if you're doing project pans right now and you're in that mindset, this is just your little reminder that it's okay. Love your makeup, use what you want to use. Even if you are doing project pans, be kind to yourself. So I just wanted to start that video off with that little thing. But just before we do jump into the video and the updates, if you have not already, definitely like and subscribe, because I upload every single day here on my YouTube channel. I love bright, fun, colourful makeup. Today I am wearing a mix of my Pan That palette with one of my Those eyeshadows. This will be a get ready with me in a few days, and of course everything will always be linked down below, all the products that I'm using, all the products that I talk about. So if you fancy something on my face, you can go and find it in the description box. But I'm in two minds about this update, because yes, I have a pan, but I mean, 3 out of 4 of these shades have been so badly neglected this month. So you know what, I'm just gonna jump straight into it. But again, I'm trying to be kind to myself. I'm trying to remember, you know what, if I'm not inspired to use these things, that's okay. I'm not going to be too harsh. So I'm going to start with the first shade. I'm going to go from newest to oldest today, just to keep some suspense. You know how I like to do it. This shade is from my Focus palette, which is my Beauty Bay Book of Magic, and I hand chose the shade Spell to work on this month. This is the first month that this eyeshadow has been in this project, and you can see it's a really nice teal shimmer shade. This is what it looks like today. Unfortunately, I've only used this 2 times this month, which is not good. But you know what? Like I said, that's okay. I'm being kind to myself, okay? I'm being kind, I'm being nice to myself. Yes, I've only used this 2 times, but you know what? That's fine, that's okay. So this is my Focus palette for this project pan, which means every month I hand choose a shade to try and hit pan on. And you can see this palette is really well loved already. It is so, I mean, the pans in here, I think we have more pans in here than we do not pans, which is absolutely incredible. The reason why I decided to choose this as my Focus palette is because a part of me does want to use this as Pan That palette next year. I don't know if I'm going to be brave enough, but we'll see. I really, really hope so. So I thought rolling it in as a Focus palette, getting some use on it early, not really focusing on it, but having like one focus shade would be a really good way to just kind of get the ball rolling in preparation for next year. This has been in the running to be Pan That palette for so many years now, and I'm just really scared because I love this palette and it is discontinued, so I can't buy it again, and that's a massive reason why I am holding off on it. But this is the shade Spell. Really not much progress. I am holding out some hope because these pans are really, really shallow, and also it's a shimmer, so it should go really, really quickly as long as I actually use it. Who'd have thought? I will swatch this for you. It's a really nice formula, a really nice shade. It is a little bit dark. I do prefer my shimmers to be a little bit lighter than this, but that's okay because this actually goes really, really well with another shade that we're panning, which I'll talk about in a second. But I love these teals. I love these blue shades. They're some of my favorite shades to use and to wear. So unfortunately, no pan just yet, but I'm really hoping that I can have some good use on this in the coming month. I'll talk about goals and stuff at the end, but for now, let's move on to the second shade, which actually goes with this so well. This was a random shade from my whole collection. Going forward, all of these are randomized shades. This comes from my Norvina Volume 6 palette, and this is the shade B4, which you can see is a really nice bright teal matte, and I have really liked these two shades together because you can see they go perfectly. This is what it looks like today. Hopefully you can see some brush strokes in here, but again, I've only used this 2 times, which really isn't great, but I have used it in conjunction with Spell that we just talked about. Just look how well those 2 shades go together. Like, are you kidding me? Of course I had to put these 2 together. I actually rolled this in last month before I rolled in Spell, and originally I was planning on rolling in the shade Crystal, but as soon as this matte was rolled in, I had to just change my mind. Like, obviously, I had to roll this one in instead. This is actually a pretty new palette in my collection. I've only had this since the start of the year, so it's really nice that it has been rolled into a project and I can get some use on them. I have used this 2 times, like I said, this shade, but I've used this palette quite a lot because it's been out on my desk. I've been kind of dabbling in it and I've really enjoyed it. This is a palette that when it came out a few years ago, I was like so obsessed with it, but I didn't buy it because it's like £60. Oh my god. But I actually found this in TK Maxx not that long ago and I just like snapped it up because of course I'm gonna buy it for like 20, but only a few brush strokes, no dip in it at all yet. I'm not really expecting with 2 uses. It's so bad. I'm so sorry, but it is what it is. It's fine. I'll continue to use this alongside Spell. I'm going to put this palette down because it is so heavy and it is so big, but I'm going to use these 2 in conjunction with each other because I mean, they are absolutely perfect together. So hopefully in the next month, I'll be able to get some really good progress on that for you guys. Okay, next is something that I've used even less times, which is absolutely crazy. Surely I've used this more than 1 time, but 1 time, baby. This is from Odin's Eye. This has actually been in for 2 months and it is the shade Reminiscence from the Silvery Bliss palette. Now this palette was sent to me in PR and it is a very new palette again, so I have been a little bit scared to use this, but this is what it looks like today. Hopefully you can see there's some change. Surely there's some change. The little pattern on the pan has definitely been worn down, which I'm really happy about. This is a deep grey and I'm actually using this today. I've used this to deepen my outer corner and I've also used this as a liner. I think that's what I'm going to do from now on. I'm going to use this just as a liner to kind of blend my lashes in a little bit more. I've only done that 1 time, but I actually really like how it looks. It's less stark than a black, but it still does the job. So I think that's how I'm going to use it. I do have a 15 use rollout, what's the word? Like exception, I guess. So if I use a shade 15 times and I'm thinking, no, I'm good actually, I can roll it out after 15 uses. So I think if I use this as an eyeliner, I can get that 15 use goal pretty quickly. So I think I'm going to do that. I don't think I want to hit pan on it because again, this is such a new palette. And I don't know, I don't really want to pan on it just yet. Maybe that's why I've been holding back on this because my little brain is like, I don't want to do it. But this shade has also gone really well with these teals. I'll talk about looks in a little bit, but I've really enjoyed this colour story so much. It's such a me kind of colour story. It's so blue and grungy, and that is exactly what I like, which is even more annoying that I haven't really used it that much. But you know what? I've been so caught up with other things. I'm not going to blame myself. I'm not going to be mean to myself. Like I said at the start of this video, I've enjoyed using what I've been using this month, and that's fine. Is this lash coming off again? Oh my god. So I'm going to continue working on this. I do kind of want to use this in conjunction with these 2 shades as well. So this black and this like deep grey shimmer. I think that would be really like a nice look, and I can also use some of my like blue Pan That Palette shades with it as well. So I've got a vision in mind. We'll see if it comes to fruition. I really hope so though, because I'm envisioning that and it looks really cool. So again, unfortunately, no pan on this one, and this will be continuing next month. But hopefully, again, I'll use it as an eyeliner and I'll get some really good use on it. So now let's talk about something a little bit better, something with better progress. Oh my god. Who'd have thought? This is my Revolution Circle of Life eyeshadow palette, and this was the shade Throne that I've been working on. It is a super bright blue shimmer, and this has gone so well with my Pan Matte palette, and it is actually one of the eyeshadows that I'm wearing today. This is what it looks like. You can see finally we've hit pan on this. This actually didn't take too long. I used this 5 times this month for a total of 9 uses altogether in the project. These pans are really, really shallow. I was not expecting that. I have used it again today. It is underneath my super glittery shade, and it is also on my lower lash line as well. I've been using it with That's Taupe. This has been a kind of everyday look that I've been doing. This is a bit more of like a dramatic version of my everyday look, but this kind of vibe, this with this, has been just my go-to everyday kind of look for the office, or, you know, for whatever. I do love blue. Blue is my happy colour. Blue is the colour that I wear all the time. So I've really, really been enjoying this. It's not the most impactful thing in the world. Like, it's not a super shimmery, intense, amazing shimmer. It's definitely kind of like a satin shade, but I've really, really been enjoying it. I do have a few blues in here as well because Colourpop palettes are magnetic. So I've popped 3 blue shades in here. If you know, you know. If you've not seen my Pan That Palette update, definitely go and check that out. I'll link it up in the cards because we're doing amazing with this. But it's gone really, really well. I'm really, really happy with, I mean, this everyday look. I've been absolutely loving it recently. So yeah, I'm really happy about that. That is the first pan in this palette as well, which is super, super exciting. Finally, we've hit pan in one of these shades. Oh my goodness me. And again, that took a total of 9 uses to hit pan on, so really not that much at all. So this is the colour story. I've had a really, really good time this month with this colour story, but now I'm going to talk about looks. So I have gone through this look very quickly. Again, if you wanted to see me do this look, stay tuned, like and subscribe, because it will be a get ready with me in a few days. And again, this is like an everyday amped up version of my everyday look that I've been doing. The next look that I want to talk about is actually with all 3 of these top shades. So actually, Reminiscence, I'm going to put another mark on Reminiscence because I've used it today and I've also used it in this look as well. So it's at least 2 uses. I've been a little bit bad this month at tracking my uses on things. It's just a little bit difficult when I'm here, there and everywhere. I kind of have to remember what makeup I do, and then when I'm in the studio, jot it all down. So it's at least 2 uses for Reminiscence because this look has got all 3 of these. I started with Reminiscence, then I blended it out with B4, that is from the Norvina palette, and then I used the shade Spell all over the eyes. I did also do this in a get ready with me. It was trying your makeup hacks, so definitely if you want to see that, just search on my channel. It wasn't too long ago. I loved this look so much. I really, really did. Just this like bright teal wing, dramatic, absolutely amazing, so up my street. And I said in that video, I felt like Hella from Marvel, you know, like smoky green. I was in my villain era. It was so much fun. So this was definitely a look that I really, really loved this month. Then I also did this look. I'm not sure if this was a get ready with me. I feel like it was as well. I'm honestly not sure. I do so much makeup on my channel. If you do like Get Ready With Me's, I do so much here. But this again was with my 2 bright teal shades. So I used B4 all through the crease, and then I did use Spell, I think just on the outer corner to blend out. I think I used like a yellowy kind of shade. I think I tried to use one of these. I think I tried to use Alchemy, and then it wasn't quite doing it. So I think I used the Pastel Roses super glittery, shimmery shade all over the lid because honestly, I love those shades so much. Anything from the Pastel Roses, sign me up right now. And that was this look. It was a cut crease. I don't do cut creases that often anymore, but this was such a blast from the past and I absolutely love it. I've said so many times before, 2016 makeup, take me back because I absolutely love 2016 makeup. Cake face, full coverage, beautiful. So this was definitely a really, really nice look. I have realised I don't use teal that much. I use a lot of blue, but I really don't use teal. So this month it has been a really, really fun little challenge to do a lot of teals, a lot too. But you know what I mean. You know what I mean. So they're the only looks that I have to share with you. I have done this look a hell of a lot. So I've got a lot of pictures of this look, but I mean, this is the best quality, and I'm just going to be putting the same look on screen, so I'll just skip all of those. But this is the looks for this month. Now, I actually rolled out an eyeshadow last month. It was called Billie Jean from the Blue Moon eyeshadow palette. And a few of you guys were saying, why don't you roll in Billie Jean when you roll out this Revolution shade? The reason I rolled it out is because it was a shimmer mid-tone blue, which so is this, so it was just a little bit too similar. I have decided I'm not going to re-roll it in because I'd like a little bit of a change, so I am going to randomize a shade from my whole collection. I feel like if I just rolled in Billie Jean, we'd be doing the same month again, if that makes sense. So even though Billie Jean was rolled into this project, I am going to let it go. If it rolls in again, that's absolutely fine, but I am going to pick up my random number generator, and I'm going to see what we get. So I have changed the rules a little bit this year. I have a massive spreadsheet full of all of my single eyeshadows and all of my eyeshadows in palettes in one spreadsheet. Last year, if I got a shade that already had pan on it, I would re-roll. This year, I'm doing it a bit different. So if I get an eyeshadow with a pan on it, I'm going to roll it in for either 15 or 20 uses. I'm not decided just yet. So, with that being said, let's get up my pretty random app, and I have 1 to 845, which is a lot of eyeshadows. We've got 679. I think that might be a single, but let me have a look, see what we get. I'm really scared. Okay, so unfortunately, I think I'm gonna have to re-roll because we got the shade Revolution Maxi Reloaded 19, and that was this shade. However, I feel like this is very similar to some of the shades in my Pan That palette, especially like those two shades. Very, very similar. So this is my number one priority. This would not get a look in with Pebble Beach. Like, Pebble Beach is a focus shade right now, and I just feel like they're a little bit too similar. So I am going to re-roll, unfortunately. I just don't want to be focusing on two shades that are really, really similar. So let's roll again. 612, which is actually again from the Norvina palette. Okay, 612 is C2. Which is C2? Oh, C2 is this one. What do you think? I think that's going to be a really, really fun shade to work on. It's a purple, which is not my normal love. However, it's a cool tone purple, which is definitely a little bit better for me. So let me swatch this palette out. The fact that we have two in the same palette is actually great for me because that means less palettes on my desk. So let me swatch out this colour story and let's see what it looks like. Okay, that's this colour story. I've not even used C2 yet, like at all. So that should be really, really interesting. I think it'll go really, really well with Reminiscence as well. Like these two shades together, I feel like that could go really, really nicely. What do you think of my new colour story? This is definitely something a bit different for me, but I'm really, really excited. So next month, my goals. I'm going to set some goals because last month I didn't set goals and I think that's my downfall. I want to hit pan on Spell. I think I can do it. I really, really do. As I said before, the pans are quite shallow and because it's a shimmer, it should get like pan a lot quicker. So hopefully I can hit pan on that. And I do actually want to at least hit 15 uses on Reminiscence using it as an eyeliner. So hopefully next month we can have 2 rollouts, which would be so exciting. I'm so excited for that already. But let me know some looks that I could do with these 4 eyeshadows. I'd be really, really intrigued to hear what you would do with these. I don't know, I'm really, really excited. So this is it for this video, guys. If you did enjoy it, definitely like and subscribe because I will be back next month for an update. I also do so many other project pans throughout the month as well, so you will not get bored here, I guarantee you that. But I hope you have an absolutely incredible day today, guys, and I will see you tomorrow for a brand new video. Bye bye!